So at the very beginning, very simple premise was to record via a performance the changes that take place on the surface of a painting, showcasing the process, which we don't always get to see when we just see a painting on a gallery wall. But it's grown into something much greater, I think, with all of the artists. The project turned into something that seems to have a sacred kind of quality, I think. And I hope that the sacredness of the performance and the project is translated for the audience.
My name is Kirsty Lee.
Damien Kemholtz.
Hi, my name is Jesse Wright.
My name is Victoria Cooper.
Zach Rowling.
I'm Ashley Campbell.
My name's Peter Chalmers.
Yeah, my name's Doug Spout.
My name is Jake Hickey.
The Memory Collective is a project designed to bring a bunch of different artists together across a variety of disciplines.
Movement, visual art, photography, film.
To pursue one central theme, which has become the idea of memory, which has grown out of the process of change and how that's going to relate to a particular artwork.
There's the visual art, and then there's the music, and then there's the performance. You know, there's just so many different layers.
I was able to approach a variety of people and artists, that some of which I've collaborated with before, others I'm collaborating with for the first time, but knowing that they are able to fulfill a particular role within the process in an amazing way. So for me, it was kind of like picking a super team of artists. So essentially, the painting that I'm doing for the Memory Collective project, more emphasis is being put onto the materials. So the materials that I'm actually painting with are imbued with and hold a lot of meaning in themselves. So that, in a sense, is something that I'm using to enrich this particular painting.
So I'm building a water vessel. It's about 2.2 by 2.2 meters. It's going to be made out of flat steel and basically just making it really clean and simple to get a perfect reflection of it when it's full of water. When an idea begins and I get an idea for something, I work through how I'll make it and plan it out, and then when it comes to fruition and ends up being exactly how I pictured it in my mind, I suppose that's the best moments.
I don't know if I know a lot about what Damien was actually reaching for. And I think that's a good thing as well, because we were very conscious of his work not informing mine. I think the only way that I could do it, and I spoke to Damien about this afterwards, was it had to become some sort of space. It was more than just a canvas. And I know his work is quite sacred or ritual. There's a lot of thought in it. So I went with that concept and used the bowls as some sort of sacred space or sacred object, and that's how I had to go from there. The movement is almost like, or the memory of the movement is a tension with this particular work. There's a thickness, almost like a tar. I call it like a tar-like quality, so it's thick and it's drawn out. And that's what I've brought to this piece, and that's my understanding in terms of movement for this Memory Collective.
I knew that I needed to have vessels for paint. We brought another artist, David Usher, on board to the project, a very, very accomplished painter, but also ceramicist. And he's created 8 beautiful raw ceramic bowls that we have used in the performance and have become very striking parts of all of the documentation that has come since.
It's really quite special to see so many people working together. and Kirsty's marks on the canvas are these emotional marks, whereas Damien's painting before it was worked on today was really considered in this evolving narrative, and it's just an amazing experience to be able to see it change and be worked upon and erased and rubbed back, and the evolution.
My job was to capture Kirsty and her movements through the art and the way she sort of got the paint and put it on. The paint made it part of her artwork as well as Damien's, and they joined it. And just to sort of capture that in video form instead of being other photos and things like that. Look forward to editing and to see how I can actually put my artistic spin on the whole program of the video side of things, and then actually look forward to getting back together with everyone again when they actually launch the photos and the video and everything on the night.
The art of photography and what it requires of me became part of me, not part of something I was in control of, and that was really special. But for me there was just incredible moments where I'm looking into the camera lens or into the viewfinder, and I'm witnessing the close-up of something, you know, and the one that sort of gets to me often is just the hand, the shape. It could be dripping with paint, it could be just about to touch the canvas. And I'm following that movement. My act of photography was a performance in the performance, and I really felt part of that moment. And whereas photographers take from the moment, I felt that I was part of that, and that really made me feel special.
So my name is Zach Rowling. I perform under Weakling and I record music under Weakling. Well, starting process really was just going to the performance and seeing Kirsty, sort of how she reacted with the music they were playing, sort of just seeing the setting, the kind of ambience, and just obviously sort of taking that all in. And then obviously working with Craig, getting his stems, getting his sort of audio snippets, and sort of just trying to recreate that kind of ambience. Because it was done in a very kind of warehouse industrial kind of feel, I wanted to have a kind of like a dark feel to it, very kind of menacing, yet with this is kind of like a little bit of like a positive overtone, like very kind of like natural sounding textures.
I'm Peter Chalmers and I'm a sculptor, and for this exhibition I'll be working on textiles pieces using the canvas that was part of the performance. I think that I came in on something that had actually turned into a lot more than was expected, and it had become almost a sacred event, seeing the performance, seeing the videos of the performance. And when Damien handed over the cloths to me, it felt like he was handing me like the Shroud of Turin. It had this sort of reverence to it and this importance, and I was really worried about taking the scissors to it. When I was first asked to do these pieces, machine sewing was what was being thought of, but I find the machine can be very impersonal, and for these pieces I wanted the hand stitching, because I also feel that with stitching, every single stitch contains a memory of the moment as you stitch it. It's a very sort of conscious process, but at the same time it's very meditative, and it's sort of, you release a lot into the artwork as you stitch.
It's going to be a space that's almost going to be like I'd say a church-like experience, because there will be these large photographs that Vicky and I have been working on that'll be almost like stained glass windows that told stories. This is going to be very similar. There's going to be like an altarpiece. There's going to be other elements, fragments, relics of the event perhaps. It's going to be about an experience.
But also out of those relics, new art is being made.
So each of those artists come together telling different parts to make up the whole story, the whole exhibition, and yeah, I'm proud of the way it's come out.